James has partly eaten some of the Swiss chard rolls, so he was able to show you what's in it, and that's tiger prawn shrimp sort of thing. And he's having kombucha, and well, this is our Halloween special, I guess. I'm not going to talk about bit rot. I'm going to talk about highly inappropriate tales for young people, and that one I'm just bringing the rest of these Copeland Marathon books out so that I can show where I rated that one. And I'm not going to be talking about Bon Jovi. We might get to Sarah McLauchlan a little bit. I'm going to talk about Coffeetown, Allman, and Gia for sure. So we can get those back to the library. And I'm going to talk about the Ben song by Sarah McLauchlan. So these are her lyrics along that side, and I didn't care for them, so I did a rewrite, and here are mine along this side. So this is going to be a very different kind of episode. I'm putting the camera like that so that you can kind of read along while I'm singing this, and I've told you in the past my singing voice is not so great lately, so bear with me. I'll get through this and then I'll talk about it. So my rewrite, I'm calling it Winter's Day because it doesn't have anything to do with Ben, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. I was watching you upon the shore. You were playing as you used to do. No one sees you play there anymore. You left with little warning. On a winter's day, I saw a life just slip away. A cold wind blows on a windless day. On this breeze I hear an emptiness. Please let me sense you're near again. Patterns are less. Just a hint of more. I lost everything when you left and left me mourning. And then the chorus repeats. So it's not a very long song, and we'll get this stuff out of the way so we're back to the dinner as it should be. And I guess I can leave that just like that. So anyway, when I was looking at the lyrics and I'm like, man, they're so bad, I have to rewrite them. And I thought about, well, so many years ago when I was a teenager, I listened to the song and I hadn't known the rest of the lyrics of it. I'd listened to the song and I knew on a winter's day, I saw life just slip away.
The chorus.
A cold wind blows on a windless day. Only the chorus, it doesn't actually say that. As you noticed, I had my changes written in blue and her lyrics that were the same written in black. So I actually like the chorus as I heard it, but that was not how she wrote it or sung it. How she wrote it is, on a winter's day, I saw the lifeblood drained away, a cold wind blows on a windless day. Now this song is supposed to be about a 10-year-old boy that she knew. That's what she said when we watched this video here. And it's definitely worth watching. So I'll take those out of the way, actually. And so I've made some notes here. Well, James and I both made some notes about her song.
Too many.
Which is incredible because the song is not very long. It took me a while actually to figure out that she was trying to work with a rhyme scheme here and what the rhyme scheme was. So she has, at first I was thinking she was rhyming fire with pyre and fire, and that hour didn't rhyme in there. But then I realized when I looked at the second stanza that she had, hear the cry for new life, da 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 da. Then I realized, oh, she's rhyming life and light, flame and vein. So they're off, they're not true rhymes, right? They're off, but that's what she's trying to do. So it's an ABAB structure, basically, but the rhythm varies. It's not, she's...
Doesn't have much of a sense of it.
Which is interesting because she's really great at writing a melody. I love listening to Ben's song. This is my favorite of her songs. And so that's why I wanted to take the time to put new lyrics to it. And I'm sorry about my voice. I've been trying to keep my neck warm and stuff. It's just I've been sick for so long and I can't sing. So I apologize for putting you through my singing of it because I can't do it. It's not working. I'm surprised I was able to do as well as I could, actually, with what I have to work with right now. But I hope you can see that the lyrics that I have make a lot more sense. So she plays with light, dark, heat, cold in her thing. So why on the hills of fire? It doesn't even make sense. Why start there? I don't understand. The 10-year-old was her true love. Maybe she knew him when she was about 10 or 8.
Maybe she was 10 years old.
Yeah, I don't know. But it just seems kind of funny. No one should use pyre unless they're talking about a Greek funeral or something. Fear not.
Ancient Greek funeral.
Don't be afraid, maybe, instead of fear not. No,
never write like that.
That's terrible. Fear not. Anyway, is she consoling herself that it was just a dream, right? And because she's saying here, fear not, for you're still breathing. So I was dreaming of my da-da-da-da-da. So who's telling her fear not, for you're still breathing? It can't be, is it Ben? Did he come back from the dead to talk to her? Fear not, for you're still breathing? I'm not sure. But she has a problem with that in her lyrics. Things will change. It'll be all of a sudden, it'll be she, the you will change, and you're like, oh, okay, who is who here?
You're shifting the pronoun of address. Yeah. Life, blood sucks. So that's why I had to change that. Life just slip away. I mean, when I heard it, as I saw life just slip away, well, that's fine. That works out just nicely. And so I thought, well, why change the chorus? It works out nicely if you just change a few words in it. And then I thought I'd build it from there, right? So, and I doubt she saw his blood drained away. So, and then I was thinking later, well, maybe this is about her experience as a child going to a funeral for this boy that was her true love when she was 10. And maybe she saw him in a coffin or something like that. And his blood was, presumably had been driven away or drained away. It was gone. But it's not written that way. It's written that she saw the lifeblood drained away. That's a pretty freaky image for a... Anyway, but I doubt that happened. And lifeblood is just bad anyway. So I always like a cold wind blows on a windless day. That's a very nice line. Is she crying to God to resurrect Ben? Hear the cry for new life. I don't know. So the morning's flame, is that who she's crying to? It's hard to understand, like, what, there isn't a lot of punctuation in her stuff either. And so you're like, okay, the stuff is enjammed a lot of the time, but which way? You know, because it doesn't, her lyrics don't make enough sense that you can tell a lot of the time. Or is she crying, like, is Ben the morning flame? And she says, you were the brightest light that burned too soon in vain. So, and I mean, that's bad anyway. And the rhythm's bad on that one. It shouldn't, like, she sings it that burned too soon in vain, right? The two is more accented there. She wants it to be triple rhythm, but it's not. So that burned too soon in vain. It's not, the two is not as accented there, or it shouldn't be, as the burned in the soon. So she didn't get the rhythm right there.
even for what she was trying to do. And her rhythm, she's really loose about it anyway. So when she gets the rhythm wrong like that, I'm like, wow, how did she manage that? That's about all I really had to say about her actual song. I don't know if James wants to comment more on.
No, really.
Okay.
This is stuff we work together on.
Yeah. So, anyway, I will tell you about...
All I'm going to say is it took way too long to go through that. For something this short, it's basically 2 verses and 2 choruses.
Yes, and so I was trying to figure out, well, what is she trying to say? Should I try to say what she's trying to say? And then I thought, this song is not about Ben. It's called Ben's Song, but it's about her and nothing. And just, jibber jabber that she thinks is poetry or whatever. But then I thought, well, she was so very young when she wrote this. You have to forgive a young person when they write, not so well. They're working on it. Anyway,
if you write something when you're wrong, rewrite it.
Yeah,
William
just
Butler
rewrite
Yeats
it.
rewrote
And
a lot of
then,
stuff.
she, with these tips that we've given today, maybe if she's watching, she might want to try to rewrite it.
You're encouraged to, Sarah.
Yeah, and you could try singing the one that I did, and you'll do a much better job on it than I would, because you have a beautiful voice. But anyway, now what I had to do when I was looking at this, I was thinking, okay, well, I don't know much about Ben, and I don't want to write about cancer, brain cancer. Yeah, I know about that. I don't want to write about it. 10-year-old boy. Oh, heartbreaking. And I don't know about this boy. I don't know anything about him. So I was actually thinking about, since it's called Ben's Song, my ex-boyfriend came into my mind. He died. And his middle names were, one of them was Benjamin. So that's the only Ben that I've ever known, in my mind. And so that he came into my brain, and then that got me thinking about, well, I was thinking about him, like when we go on hikes, like we went this morning along the river bottom, and a lot of the time when I'm on these river bottom hikes, which that's where we often hike, I think of him as a little boy, because he'd tell me stories about when he was little. He'd do a hike in Lethbridge along the river, and so I had all these stories, and I had images of him. But that really wasn't helping me that much. And then that image of him near the water, the river bottom like that, stuck in my head, and it reminded me of my sister. So the thing is, okay, so I kind of skipped to a bit of, so with my ex, when we broke up, and I was talking to somebody I work with, and she was a very nice lady, and she was very supportive. Other people were like, not supportive about me dating James. They were like, and there's an age difference, right? And my sister, actually, who ended up marrying somebody who was even older than James, when she got divorced or separated, whatever, and she's younger than me. So, but she wasn't supportive at the time. When I got together with James, she thought, he's old, what are you doing? She was creeped out, right? And a lot of people are. They don't understand at first, and then they get to know James and I, and like right away, this one woman though, she was like, you look really good together, and I didn't know how to take it. I was thinking, is she saying I look old, or what is it? But then I realized, no, and I kind of probably looked at her funny, like, what are you saying? But I realized that she was a nice person. She was saying we did look matched, and that was great. But anyway, what I said to her, well, when my ex, he ended up, I've been a mother to at the time I was about 25 or whatever. I don't know. How old was I when we got together?
29.
Oh, that old. Okay.
28.
Okay. So that makes sense. Because I said to her, well, I've been the mother of a 30-year-old now for so long that, and it just makes sense that I would
date somebody that's about the age to have a 30-year-old son. And so then it turns out that James, when we got together, his mother was dying, and I think her angels and, you know, they were all trying to match us together so that I could mother him, because a lot of the time he will slip up and he thinks like I'm like his mother. And and his dad really liked me. His dad thought I was a very strong woman, and I am. So, and I'm very much like a mother, and you know, a lot of the time it frustrates me because I don't have a child, and I think I don't want to have to parent every friend I have, it seems I end up being a parent, and I don't want to mother everyone, but yeah, that's what I am. And so I'm a childless mother, and the reason is my sister, she'll slip up a lot of the time, she'll call me mom. And why is that? Well, my mother, she had migraines, and she was going through some tough times. She couldn't handle parenting at the time, and she tried to, you know, teach me. Here I am, 2 years old, and she's trying to teach me how to put on cloth diapers onto Kathy and pin them, and I realized at the time, if I do this right, she's gonna make me do this all the time. And like at 2 years old, I'm realizing that, right? And I'm like, I don't want to. I was telling her, what if I poke myself? What if I poke her? And then I thought, I don't want to poke myself, so I'm gonna poke her. And I made Kathy cry, and I feel terrible about it. But here, you know, that was just my way of trying to, don't teach me this. I don't want to be the parent, right? And so when I was little, that's why my sister calls me mom, because this is just the, you know, it's not my mom's fault. She was great. She just was, just some things happen, you know? Tough things happen sometimes, and you have to. So then I was thinking about my ex and the shore, and then I was thinking about, well, that brought me back to me being a terrible mother to my sister, because I was only 2 years older than her. And so, like, there was one time we were in PEI, and we were living right on the shore. It was a beautiful place, and I brought James back there to show him. It was lovely.
It was wonderful.
And so every day, when, you know, even in the winter, unless it was very, 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 very cold, then we went out. Every day we go out, play on the shore. And so I brought Kathy, and it was all ice across on the ocean there. And I could see land on the other side. It was little, you know, how the land, it doesn't go straight, it goes like in a loop sometimes. You could see land way over. And we weren't allowed to walk on the ice. And but I told my sister, oh, let's go, we can walk over there. And so we were walking, and yeah, it's firm enough, let's do it, and go to the other side. And then eventually I started realizing this is the bad idea for me to be leading Kathy out, you know, where we're not supposed to go. So we went back. And so I was just that's when I was thinking about this. So I was thinking from a mother's perspective, because that's how I would think about this. I was thinking of little Kathy walking out on the ice, and I was thinking of it as though I was, you know, a mother back in the house, couldn't do anything, you know, just seeing a child go or something like that, right? And anyway, and I guess I've been thinking about this because oftentimes my sister gets down and she'll talk about assisted suicide and stuff like that, and I never know. I will never know if she'll just go all of a sudden, I think, and I won't be able to do anything about it. So that put me in the frame of mind to do the rewrite. And anyway, so that's that. So we don't need to talk about that anymore. But really, when you write a song, you have to have very strong feelings so that you can actually get something important down. And that's the same with poetry too. It really helps to try to put yourself into the mind frame of what you're gonna, who you're
writing for, who you're writing about, what you're, you know, all of that. And keep an idea of what you're writing. What do you want to, you want to tell some sort of a story. In something as short as Ben's song, you don't have a lot of time to tell it. There's not very much in there. So what are you going to tell? And so a lot of the time Sarah McLauchlan, she'll have a good line, and they don't match up. They're like, okay, this doesn't, this could be in one song and this could be in another, and this, but they shouldn't be in the same song because they don't make any sense together or whatever. Keep an idea of what you're writing. Does it make sense? While you're going along, you might fall in love with your words and go, oh, this sounds really great, this line. Does it make sense in the song? If not, maybe it's a different song. It's not this one, or whatever.
Someone else read it stone cold, and where they're stumbling, you've stumbled more often than not. Have several people read it. If they can't make heads or tails of it, it's your problem. Don't visit it on them again.
Yeah. So anyway, so we're not going to talk about that anymore, and I'm going to see where we're at on the time, because I'm going to talk about Coffee Town, and we have 7.5 minutes. I think I'm actually going to clear this thing this time.
You go.
That's great.
Good job, you covered a lot of stuff there.
So, and I got this Halloween balloon just out of right beside my house. It blew in, things blow in, and it was a while ago, so it's debugged or whatever now. It's fine. I thought I'd bring that out for the Halloween episode. I didn't buy it. So Coffee Town, I didn't expect much from this, but wow, I laughed so many times. This was really great.
She's not making it up, and I am telling you, it's real healthy belly laughs.
Very,
Again,
very,
and
very,
again,
very good.
And again,
So
I'm the witness to it.
The only reason this got below these two is we really enjoyed these music DVDs, but I really enjoyed this too.
I'm surprised she didn't put it
Top of the stack. Yeah, it could very well be.
Yeah.
It's a different thing, and it's the kind of thing, well, you'll probably watch it once, and whereas with these ones I was thinking,
You could watch
it again and again.
The McLauchlan one you might watch again more, but there we go.
I don't know. See, James thinks differently. He said he'd put the Sarah McLauchlan above the Bon Jovi one.
Yeah.
So this is just, we have a difference of opinions on this, but
And
whatever.
I'm a rock and roller from way back, so that should tell you something.
But anyway, Coffee Town. So many laughs. The policeman character in this, so great. The worst policeman anyone could imagine.
I've worked with the police. He seemed bad, but I've actually in real life seen worse.
This is so funny. So funny. I really don't want to give anything away. So just watch it. All Man, the International Mail Story. This is worth watching. It covers, both of these cover the AIDS when it was big in United States.
Killer.
And,
Nowadays, people can survive
now
it
people
if
live a
they've got
long
money.
time. They just have
Well, if
they
can
take
afford-
medication
if
and they
can
keep
afford the
going.
medication.
But back in the 80s,
It was stone cold
boy,
killer.
tough for people. So this one, the Angelina Jolie one, covers Gia as a model. She's Gia Karanji, and she ends up getting AIDS too. And dying from it, of course, back then, right?
It was from sharing needles, was it not?
Probably, right? She was a junkie,
Yeah.
so a lot of people get into drugs, not just rock stars and stuff like that, but fashion models would use cocaine and stuff like that to try to stay thin, and then she ended up on some other stuff too. So
Well, you end up having to take heroin if you're taking stuff like cocaine or rock and amphetamines. You end up having to take heroin. Or in the case of Elvis Presley, barbiturates to slow you down so you can get something like sleep.
So International Male. This magazine, it's kind of funny because I've been reading a lot of Copeland, and he mentioned something about Fort McMurray, Copeland did, about Fort McMurray, Alberta, and how it has a very, very disproportionate number of males to females, and yeah. And so apparently it has the highest video streaming of any place in North America or something, and that so he was suggesting, well, it's porn, they're because men watch and go through more porn. So anyway,
I think they're just checking out PubMed, which is a publication for academic medical thing. No, you're probably right. He's probably right.
Yeah. So the International Male, this magazine, there'd be, or catalog, I guess, for clothing, really, but you see a lot of
underclothing.
Yeah. And a lot of very, very muscular men that are very good to look at and whatever, but
they said that
I guess
the majority of them are actually heterosexual.
The models, yeah. But not the people who were working for International Male originally. There were women and stuff there too. But anyway, I guess there were a lot of gay people that were interested in International Male magazine. It makes sense. I mean, people would talk about the Sears catalog, looking at the underwear in the Sears catalog when you're a young person or something. And I guess if you're a gay male, you might end up picking up an International Male to look at the underwear in there rather than a Sears catalog. Or I guess they were saying in this, I think they were comparing it to Victoria's Secret, and that's probably better. But I don't know.
For folks back then,
yeah.
it'd probably be more like Eaton's catalog here in Canada.
Yeah, I don't know.
Stuff like that.
But
I
we
don't
didn't
know
have
when Victoria's Secret started.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the United States. They had stuff like that, but I don't think we had anything like that up here. But anyway, I thought it was a really well put together documentary, and they covered some important issues, and I enjoyed it.
Plus,
Anything
there's
to say
a lot
about
of
it?
eye candy there for people who swing that way.
For anybody who might enjoy looking at very attractive men's bodies. Yeah. Now, talking about Gia, Angelina Jolie's body wasn't nearly as attractive as I would have guessed it would be, but James and I were thinking it might have been because she was just so terribly thin at that point that maybe she lost the hips that she might have had or something like that. But because of that, it made her waist, it really drew attention to her waist, and her waist is not
I think
what most people would find attractive for a woman.
Even if she had a lot
very
of hip
thick
on her, her waist would be not what most guys, I guess, would consider an attractive waist to hip ratio. That's the way it works out. People can't necessarily have everything. So.
No, and she has a lot to offer. She's I think she's a nice person.